Um, I'm back. More Last Epoch. Not Last Epoch, I'm just saying that. Path of Exile. And, recently I switched to the, Static Strike over Smite. I was using Glacial Hammer. I'll probably just drop Molten Skin for just Steel Skin. I think that would be a good idea for now. I've seen equip my inventory yet before I go back out and do stuff. Go out there and fight some stuff or something, right?
I thought you were a fool for seeking out Mervale. A fool in love with death. Now, I don't know. Still.
I've already basically said the game is hard. Like, I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with that. Like, is it legitimately hard? Is it actually a challenge? Yeah, I'm definitely need to keep this. This is gonna be great. Just helmet here. Got this necklace. Didn't you notice I picked it up?
Take care.
It's a pretty good necklace, I guess, right?
Yes?
There's stuff in the stash, and we'll be on our way.
Take care.
No need Frost Blink anymore. Is this katana as a weapon shield? Here, let's see. Yeah, it's not a weapon. I don't know. I don't know what the point of that would be to upgrade its quality. Let's see if I can roll a blue. No, I don't really need it. Oh, I need it for the arcane searching. Let's see if I can roll blue. Or actually, if I just reroll the color, I can always use the shield slot. I don't really need it. Green, blue. Okay. Big upgrade for the helmet. But I've just been watching more and even the same videos of Passive Exile 2. And I don't really notice anything out of the ordinary, anything that doesn't look like it's been done before. The art style of the game is kind of misleading, where it just seems like a game that's already been done, like it looks like it, but it ends up being like has a lot of differences. Feels different.
Quite the lady killer, aren't you? Fairgraves was.
I guess I'll go elemental down. I don't really need it. I'll probably go armor. Or whatever gives me like a stun block. Wait, spells is lightning? Here it is. Oh, it's element resistance. Okay, we'll grab this. Whatever. Yeah. Wait a minute. This must be unlocked for crossbow characters. At least I think it is. Yeah. There's no way I made it this far on my Templar where I unlocked this dude. And my leap. Glacial hammer, got my relic. Seal skin. Glacial hammer, this is much better. I don't even have to really worry about aiming. I just have to like get a hit off on at least one enemy. Then I can leap over and just start shotting everybody else. It's really good for like loading up my static shock charges. Right. And then just being unleashed on an enemy I jump on. No, it's not that good. It has a lot of armor, but I like the bonuses I get from other things.
I am bruised. I hunt boar, hunt to feed my people.
If I just legitimately stash, throw it in like the assassin or thief, whatever they're called. It's a thief.
You and me, we are
Oh,
the
I don't
same.
know.
We dream big. We find new places. We do not tell stories. Stories are told about us. I learn the world.
I am Yina, keeper of the spirit. A beast hunts us in her dreams. Be kind
Down
if
the
you
white
can.
beast.
I have seen many an exile come and go. Those bandits you've encountered are
See, this guy's a cross
very
account type of
dangerous.
character. I thought it was like just every character you'd have to do this guy. It's already up once you do it once. He's like this, like gives you access to this area where you can like do challenges basically, which is like fighting beasts, and you get like stuff. I get the caption first. Like here, I'll show it. So I got smacked around on my witch. And all the beasts I had captured, they all basically disappeared because I died trying to fight. I'm saying, like, how do I use it? Oh, here we go. I have one captured creature. How do I get more? I don't know. Let me see. Maybe this guy can tell me how to capture creatures.
Hello. See you.
Really need chaos orbs to buy these.
Bye.
Alright, let's see what this is. I guess it's just part of the area where it's like keeps all the monsters. Yeah, it's just probably the same thing, so.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Apparently when you get those altars, whatever they're called in this game, this altar, you don't get to carry it through another area. I guess got a speed altar disappeared. But yeah, wait, let me see. Yeah, the Dragon Dogma comes out in like a day or 2 days, I think. And I don't think I'm ready. I'm not ready for it to come out yet. And, it's probably still gonna be fun and all that. But I don't really have the energy for that type of stuff anymore. Back in the day, it was like degenerate energy. It wasn't even like actual energy. So I'm gonna talk about the divide between streaming and gaming. Even it's like making YouTube videos. kind of falls under the same umbrella, right? Red and blue, same thing. The colors. Gaming and YouTuber are the same. You know, they're like making content, playing games, or running around, vlogging. Same thing. It really depends on like how you want it to be delivered, alive or edited. Live. Now I was able to use steel skin, not die right there. Here's this Cord Scepter's got once I discover it or whatever. Here's the divide between gaming, because like you can always just vlog, like that's different. I'm not talking about vlogging, I'm talking about gaming. Gaming and vlogging, I can talk about that too. The difference between that, but let me talk about the divide between gaming and streaming. And to me, this is something I'd seen, like if I was trying to learn from other streamers, like this is something I would just see them implement, more of like a live type of strategy, like almost a vlogging or, live, real life type of strategy. Which is cool, like, it's like almost playing soccer and talking about, you have to pick your kids up, or you have to like, do some lawyer stuff, like I have no playing football.
I am no beast of burden.
The divide between gaming and streaming basically is the point at which one becomes very beneficial. This is for both of them, like vlogging and gaming, like the difference in streaming and all that. The difference between those two things, streaming and gaming. You know what I'm saying? The difference is, the difference comes where they both become beneficial, but they're not worth hurting yourself over. People that are whiny would be like hurting yourself with everything. I mean, people who have like a certain amount of energy or amount of attention they can assign to stuff, and the idea of it coming back or it being overused to the point where even if it comes back, it's not really enough. And this is the difference between the divide between streaming and gaming is gaming really requires you to have an energy, almost like some type of religion. Like you have to assign your energy to this one religion, and you can't switch it, you can't move it, you can't. So the energy isn't. It's almost like getting on a ride. Once you get on the ride, you can't get off of it. You have to keep yourself in the ride. You can't fly off the side, you'll die. Getting off the side of the ride. So that's what I would call the gaming. The gaming, that's gaming's corner. It's like a ride you can't jump off. It's like a roller coaster. And you can, but you'll just get hurt, or it'll make something else suffer. There's always some reasoning you can apply that requires you to a creative strategy, which isn't really reasoning at that point, right? But people get like it's like a roller coaster. So Dragon Dogma 2 is coming out. I stream and I play games. So at the end of the day, I can roller coaster it and just not stream, and just roller coaster, just play it. But, that kind of defeats the purpose of me strategizing and agonizing over its release, when really I might not care. I might play it at night or something, you know what I'm saying? And with streaming, it's like, this is why it's not gaming. It's like a responsibility. It's not something that you have to keep doing. So it gives you the ability to get on and off of it and regulate that energy, or change the position. It's more of like a job. Streaming's like a job and gaming's like a roller coaster. You can't get off of it. So if you have a job, and this is important because this kind of screams energy management. It screams responsibility. If you have a job and a roller coaster, and your job coincides with this, your job is to ride roller coasters, or your job is to be a part of the amusement park. The only thing I'm saying is energy management. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I get sniper rifled in the head. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I don't drink milk or something. Like the milk could just be not enjoyed. You don't have enough time to drink milk. So that's kind of the difference. And the difference becomes understood, not so different because of what's been done in the past. Like Mickey Mouse. You have people that are dressed up as Mickey Mouse and all that. what I'm saying, who enhance the experience of theme parks. Otherwise, it would be kind of just quiet and lifeless, I guess, be like almost robotic. So that's kind of where I'm at, where streaming and gaming, streaming alone isn't Mickey Mouse. It can be, but streaming and gaming is dressing up as Mickey Mouse. And I'm just saying the energy, it just isn't there. I'm saying it's not like I have like a mental breakdown. Like you could literally say, well, I told you all last week that the energy wasn't there, and now, like you can make it wherever you want to make it. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying the energy's not there. And a strategy I see people implement is this kind of going to more of a real life type of stream. So it's like you go to music park and someone's been working there as Mickey Mouse for too long, and like it just isn't really for them. I think that's the thing. So, people who go to music parks might say, well, music park perspective, it doesn't really matter, you know what I'm saying? People have to give you a certain level, a certain quality, you know what I'm saying, a certain experience. It's like if you went to church and the preacher was having a heart attack, he doesn't have to preach. And at the end of the day, without the preacher, the church is nothing. So, some people who aren't the preacher or Mickey Mouse don't really have the same identity. They're not the preacher, and they don't have the same pride in preaching. So what they're saying is almost very, let me get it. It's like if someone was your dad and you told them they don't have to work, like they can't, like that's just where they're at with it. They could find a way, but you're talking about an immediate response to your comment, an immediate action, probably not, right? I'm not saying it's childish or it's crazy to think that, but we're talking about the pride and the idea that you would want to be able to work, you want to be able to take care of your family, not that you need a medical solution. You need a solution that your job or roller coaster provides you, right? I'm not trying to make it seem like someone's son is like retarded because he's a little kid. I mean, not retarded, but someone who isn't to be taken seriously, right? Because he's like a little kid and his opinion's like whimsical. I'm not saying his opinion's whimsical. I'm just saying that's not the solution. The solution isn't for someone to say, hey, I don't want to get out anymore. You say, well, you don't have to be. The solution is, more in a more mature sense. Someone who has a more mature perspective would be like, well, here's how we can help you with that. No one was saying they think Mickey Mouse because they're gonna die soon. They're saying they think Mickey Mouse because they don't have the energy for it. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what I was saying, right? Like, I don't have the energy to play a bunch of games and stream at the same time. That'd be like riding a roller coaster for a job and it still being enjoyable, still having that roller coaster experience, or and vice versa. Your job being roller coasters and you not taking it seriously, or it not mattering.
The white beast's spirit is at rest. No more pain.
I'm not here to draw a line in the sand and fight people who don't do fun stuff, like who don't ride roller coasters for a living. Like that's not really my problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to draw this line and come in as like this bellowing, echoing voice, so you can sound the horn, so you can start fighting me because I have an opinion that you can't even identify with because you'd rather argue about it. It's almost a fact at this point. A fact is, people would be burnt out more so from working at you never worked at Disneyland, you don't know. I'm saying, like, you're just saying stuff to be argumentative. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I know I don't have the energy to game and wait. I don't have the energy to game and stream, you know what I'm saying? And one without the other doesn't matter as much, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably set this on a lot of strength. Like back in the day, before people knew what certain diseases were, you probably could argue a lot of stuff. Before people had an idea of what was going on, you probably can argue almost anything. That's not really the point. The point isn't to argue anything or to even listen. It's just, well, now we know that, people are, I guess, burnt out from doing these things. like, okay. Like, that's it. It's not much deeper than that. It's not like you have to agree. You know what I'm saying? It's like if someone said their throat hurts, said your throat doesn't hurt, and no such thing. Like, maybe at some point in time, you know, people would maybe agree with you or champion that opinion, but at the end of the day, people's throat would probably hurt because they have some type of like infection, or I don't even know, something like that. So like, we're not gonna go that way. We're not going that way with it.
The spirit hunts with.
So like, you know, just addressing that and being able to think, well, what do I need to do to have energy to game and stream?
Yes?
I don't know. Sometimes you just talk about it, you know, and this isn't like a suicide prevention ad. You know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, if you get bullied every day, talking about it wouldn't make much of it. It'd probably make you even more upset. Right? Like if someone just talked to me, almost like a conveyor belt. You know what I'm saying? Like someone saying I don't have energy to game and stream. That's different than someone saying someone's bullying me every day. And, you know, now I feel better. That's completely different. Right? I'm just gonna start pushing people off the cliff with their opinions and ideas. Like, you're just somebody whose opinion is super serious, and now everyone knows that it's life or death with you, and I'm just gonna push you in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's opinion is diseases aren't real, you know, I would agree in some way, because you can't really find them out in the world. You know, it'd be hard to find a disease out in the world without someone that suffers from it. So it's like saying a snake is a disease or a snake's a bad thing, but devoid of suffering and people dying from snakes. You can find a snake. So like, I can agree, like, just off of like the discovery aspect, that you can say a disease is like a symbiotic thing that is from people that suffer from it. You know what I'm saying? Like a rock can't get a disease, but there needs to be like a living organism. So like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like someone can pee, and like maybe the pee is a disease or something, right? I'm not saying diseases aren't. People don't die from like having big lumps in their head. You know what I'm saying? Big giant balls that you can clearly see that aren't them, but are still kind of organic in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like how there's mold and moss and all that. Like there's stuff kind of like that. You know, there's parasites and stuff, right? There's like tapeworms. But, you know, people saying that you can't have an opinion, or you can't be, that you can have an opinion, you can be, doesn't mean it exists, right? It doesn't mean that there's actually this burnout, but you can say, look, this is how I explain things. This is what it sounds like, right? Like, I'm not gonna be burnt out because I'm not gonna stream and play games. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I'm going to do. So like, here's the two categories I'm gonna create, and this isn't like by my like greatest passion-y burning desire for this to exist. This is like the medical conveyor belt, or, you know, the political conveyor belt. You have people who are willing to die and benefit from their death and joining a circle of like political ideology that still is strong. You can almost say like a conservative type person can die, but he's like some super tough dude, so it's cool. That's one side, but I'm not gonna be arguing people. Like, they pretty much are right about everything, I guess. At the end of the day, like, in some way, if you're like some ancient old man who believes in these values, you're right, because you'll be old and you'll be the only one that does this type of shit. And then you have the people who just die for the sake of convenience sake. Like someone who's like kind of a good person who dies from cancer. Like, I haven't never seen anyone who's super evil with cancer. Like, there's doctors, people who like are dying from disease. Those people are not in charge of anything, right? If you're dying, you're not in charge. You need to be quiet so you can get better. You need to chill out, right? You don't need to be dying on a hill or being a good person. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not it. Just chill out. I'm not arguing with people. I'm not arguing with people who are good or bad, or who are old, mean. Nothing happening. I'm not going to the hospital to argue. I'm not cutting my hair off to get cancer and argue about what's right and wrong. It's over. If you don't have the ability to get better, you don't have the technology, it doesn't really matter if you're good or bad. So, like, you know, me just talking about not having the energy. Okay, here goes some beast to capture. Me not having the energy to stream in game, especially day one and all that. Like, this is something people would get. I'm not saying this to enlighten the few that don't get it. I'm just saying whoever can even understand words that are reaching out someone's mouth. Not like, don't need a year to think about some shit. Just, do you understand or not? I'm saying, if you don't, then come back in a year. I'm saying, if someone needs therapy, come back in a year after you understand what they're going through. Don't come back in a week. Come back later. When they've done the therapy and you've done your soul searching so you can understand words. Like, come back some other time.
Until we slaughter you.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to stream in game now because I talked about it, and I also was able to polarize and send people to the Super Smash Brothers grave, knock them off the side of the screen. Like, maybe once I get over my energy dilemma, I can help other people, but until then, I'm not going to go to the hospital and argue with people. That's not what I do. I literally help someone hold them down so they can chill out. Like, stop arguing in the hospital. That's stupid. You're just making it harder for you to get better because you have to make life decisions and argue. Be quiet. People just want to read a book. Be quiet. It's a library. You don't go to the library and argue with people about the books. That'd be stupid. Go somewhere else that. Go play baseball, son. You know, go put one team against another. You know what I'm saying? Something that is sanctioned or people understand what's going on. Don't just start arguing with people about cancer. People have cancer. Don't start arguing about it. It's not even gonna make a difference. Unless you're arguing with like some researcher or someone who's on the medical field type of thing. Like, leave me out of that whole idea. I'm not doing it. Does guy disappear when you start fighting a beast? Or just area where you like be at? I don't know. I guess I'm doing doing it again. I don't even know. I don't know how this quest works or how this dude works. This guy's talks super strange anyway. Like, he's confusing me. I'm confused. Well, you know, when the day comes, in a day or two, when Dragon Double comes out at midnight, and I download it, I think you can actually preload it soon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. But, you know, I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna stream it day one, and I'm not expecting, like, I am expecting, like, I have expectations. Like, expectations are not bad. I'm not expecting it to be, like, my saving grace, or, like, my golden horn. Like, I'm not gonna get called into battle Valhalla or something, right? But I am expecting it to do good because it's a big release and it's going to be around for some time. I'm really hoping that it gains the same legendary connections that the first game has. Like, if you think about Dragon's Dogma 1 and people start talking about it, oh, it's legendary, you can already tell just by the way people talk about it. And if you see anything about it, it's really different. I'm hoping it's going to be good. You know, I like to use this type of stuff. It's like someone who's religious. Someone who's religious likes to have a cross in their house because it protects them. And I'm not someone who hangs up a square metal sheet in my house and says, well, this metal sheet represents logic. Of course it does. But after people being Christian for so long, they have certain amount of reasoning that they can apply to the real world. It's not like they're completely lost, right? Let me hang up my Hannah Montana poster and my Bible, bro. Stop being a hater. I'm saying, hang up your metal sheet and be quiet. Right? Let me hang up my display poster and do what I want to do. I'm saying. Everything isn't up to whoever wants to argue. I'm saying. People have their perspectives and live by them, and then they can argue with it once they have an idea of what they're actually talking about. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping this game's fame and legendary status and lore and all that, just coolness, you know, depth, kind of aid me. I'm saying, I'm not going to be out here just Pocahontas enough. I'm saying. Like, people expect you to be so, like, argumentative and then to be so independent. Like, that's such a evil person to be. I'm saying. I let people do what they want to do, as long as it isn't like arguing. Like arguing isn't like freedom of speech. Like arguing requires an argument. If someone doesn't argue with you, you can just make your point, and people will say that's cool because it probably was a good point. I'm not here to argue and be sick. That's not what I do. Yeah, whenever this game comes out, I'm definitely gonna be playing it. And then, you know, I even thought another one, or another thing, me having a day one release for Dragon's Dogma. You know, DOE 2 comes out, and I read that when the beta comes out, it's gonna stretch into its release. Like some games do that when they release a beta, you can play it until the full game comes out. And I was thinking, well, at the end of the day, I might not even get a beta key. It's like, how am I gonna milk this for day one? And, you know, that might send some people on a roller coaster to hell. I was just thinking that, I mean, if it's a good game, you know, and if I play it, and people just happen to watch my stream or watch my videos, something will happen. You know, something cool could happen. Right? It's like, if we're going to Disneyland, we're going to Disneyland. If we get there an hour late, it's still Disneyland. You don't have to be like a baby about everything. Even a baby doesn't do taxes, so like a baby isn't a baby about everything, right? I'm sure a baby could talk. They wouldn't just not talk. They would say something so they can get what they want, right? A baby doesn't put themselves beyond talking, right? It's not what I think would happen. Second. So, you know, when PoE beta comes out, I might not get a beta key. I might not ever get a beta key. But, you know, we're releasing them in waves. So, like, I might not get one the first week. I might not get one the second week. I might not get one in the first month. But I know that PoE is going to be a great game. At least I think it is, or I hope that it is. And my hope and thinking makes me say that it is. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. My thoughts and hopes aren't that important, right? It's okay.
Exile.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get the beta key early. I know whenever I do get it, it's going to be a great experience, streaming and playing it, whatever. Now I gotta start making sacrifices for content. Where content is everything, but it can't always be there for you. You know what I'm saying? It can't always be there. It's like there has to be something else. What is this guy talking about? He's just chilling. He's not even here. Like, I wish that I could control energy and at a moment's notice increase my energy level by 30, but eventually I'd only do it when something bad happened or something was needed to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like adrenaline almost. I'd be in adrenaline mode. And then I wouldn't be able to do content because it'd be straight adrenaline mode. It'd be like a primal state. There's like a fine line between a lot of things. You can't just be an argumentative Hitler. I'm saying people will think you're not a good person, right? There's a fine line. You can argue. You just can't make it your personality. People think that you're a terrible person. At least I would. If someone argued, and just that's what they did, I would be like, wow, you're such a bad person. Like, why can't you just be right about some things? I'm gonna go get this elemental resistance tree. Go up and grab all this. Because, you know, elements usually are how you get melted pretty quickly. Elemental resistance is how you get melted. I think people are saying armor didn't matter. It was more about elemental resistance. That makes sense. But if you're a melee class, armor definitely would matter because you're getting smacked by some people. That small incremental damage reduction or whatever. I don't know how the armor works in this game. That's definitely going to be something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get whooped pretty quickly as a witch when I play my witch. but then when I play this, it's pretty much good until I get melted by an AoE. You know, I'm willing to sacrifice damage for armor. I'm not that type of person, I guess, right? I don't identify with strategy. Strategy is only with me as long as it's effective. So, like, I don't strategize things that don't work anymore. If I was a lawyer, I'd only be a lawyer as long as I was successful. Once I was a bad lawyer, or I was like doing cocaine and just doing crazy things how people do with crimes that we all know they committed, I guess. Like, I'm not a lawyer no more. Like, that's not my. I'm not that logical. You know, I'm not that justice tied. Like, once your quota or your whatever your mission is to do something other than be a lawyer, you're not a lawyer. So that's what a lawyer does, and that's fine. Well, you're a lawyer then. Leave me alone. Leave me be. That's my argument now. Leave me alone, buddy, because I'm not here to argue. I'm saying I'm here to say my perspective, and anything I say isn't worth arguing with. Trust me, I'm not gonna say anything that sneaks under the radar. Like, wait a minute, I should argue with this. Like, no, bro, go away. Like, I want to meet people who are like the anti-theist, the people who just argue and are just Hitler. And that's when stuff gets bad. I'm saying. You're living in Yu-Gi-Oh, living in some anime or something. So let's think about something like PoE 2 that requires a lot of planning, and then, you know, it's not like an action game. It's still kind of like top down, more kind of like a boring pacing, I guess. Right, like the controls aren't the most exciting. And we'll talk about how that's still mentally stimulating, and how you can kind of learn from the mental stimulation. Not that you can change it, not yet. It's almost like an analogy. You can't have an analogy without having an analogy, right? You can't compare two things together. You can't ever have an understanding of what it's like. You can't use an analogy if you don't have an analogy. So, you know, that this game's so mentally stimulating, and it kind of makes you clench teeth. It's challenging. You know, how can we learn from the mental stimulation and turn it into energy stimulation? Someone says, well, I actually picked PoE up over my head, slammed on the ground. Now I'm stimulated. Like, you need help. You need to go to the gym. You need to go fight someone's boxing. This isn't what I'm talking about. You know, how do we, you know, hey class, how do we get 2 + 2 = 4? Oh, well, I picked up and slashed on the ground. Get out of my classroom. Now, you know, how do we get mental simulation and turn it into energy simulation? And at the end of the day, how do we sustain ourselves from simulation? This is like a two-part benefit, I guess. Benefit for both parts. You can't always be mentally stimulated because the rest of your body will be starved of its simulation. So even taking mental stimulation, which will always be there, right? So that mental stimulates you probably always could. Right? You know, but how do we eventually make it some other sort of simulation? Well, we understand the universal properties of the mind. You can always use your mind for anything. And we understand that your body may tell you when it's in pain, but not your mind. So your mind takes the damage. We're not talking about like your brain. We're talking about like the ethereal part, the part of your mind that isn't tangible, the intangible part. That takes all the damage, and when your body screams out for food or pain, you quickly switch the energy. It's like if you're running and you think you can run, you know you can run, and blah blah blah. And mentally, yeah, you're strong, but your body starts saying you need water, you need to chill. That's when you get water. That's when you change course. So if PoE is saying, yeah, your mind is mentally stimulated, it's an infinite path of stimulation. Your mind doesn't really care or get tired for the most part. It basically would be like, okay, well, once my body tells me I can be energetically stimulated, that's when I'll go for it. Right? There's a fine line between someone who doesn't use their mind and is just always energetically stimulated, and someone who went to the well of knowledge or went to the well outside to get water. I'm saying we're not talking about people who just smash walls and argue. We're not here to talk about Hitler. Hitler did what he did. People agreed with him. That's up to them. I don't even know anything about Hitler. I'm saying I don't really care. I'm saying go be Hitler somewhere else.
You strike me as someone who craves a higher purpose. Something worthy. Something like peace. 3 tribes battle for this forest. Every day, my brethren and I battle and die with Cretan rats of the bridge and Illyris thralls of the old road. To spare the lives of many, you need take only 2. But if peace isn't reward enough for you, bring me the amulets that hang around Cretan and
Is this guy like a bad person? I don't mess with bad people, buddy. I don't. It doesn't matter what they have to offer. If I tell myself right, I feel like I'm to me. I fight them. But you know, I'm here to be me and voice my opinion. My opinion is I like rainbows. Well, at a certain time, and usually I see a rainbow in the fountain, and you can go and look at it too. Then you can make a decision if you want to fight or argue. Not yet. Okay.
You dare to speak for peace, outlaw? There's the peace you find, dear.
I mean, at the end of the day, need making that decision to kill Oak. There's just a bunch of dudes here, a bunch of dudes in a camp, hanging out with weapons. They're not no girls here. They're not selling nothing. These guys are bad, right? When there's a bunch of dudes hanging out in the woods with weapons, no girls. They're not selling candy. These people are terrible. And I chose to fight them instead. I do not care, buddy. Call your lawyer. Get the case ready. If you had me in the wood, my boys hanging out with guns, smoking, not really hanging out with any girls, just being us, you'd think we were bad eventually. Like these are like some big ass kids. Bad news. Someone hurry up and shoot him with a bow and arrow or something. Ain't got time for it. I ain't got time. You imagine if your grandpa hung out and just ignored your family and just was just shooting the stuff with his buddies? You think he was kind of terrible? His girls are terrible. It's terrible. His boys are terrible. They wanted peace. I wouldn't got it for him. I killed him. Some people don't want some witty reaction or some philosophy about fighting in the woods. They just want Oak gone. They want peace. I want Professor Oak dead. Professor Oak, I want you gone. Professor Oak's not a real person, by the way. For anyone who doesn't know that, he's not a real person.
I have seen warriors in black in the east. They are from your Oriath. Better fed, better armed than you, Exile. Oriath did not want you, so why does it follow you here?
These guys have philosophies, things that you can live in the woods and stuff. I don't know. They get to live, you get to die. Okay, if that's how people want to see it, that's how it's gonna be. I was just completing a quest. I didn't know that I was gonna have to make a choice. Cold damage, lightning damage. It's not gonna be pretty good. This one is armor. Yeah, I'll probably go for this one. Grand manifest. Let's go.
Going?
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm just telling these near from other characters, just to have them automatically when the time comes. You know what it is. Like, you would never see on someone else's stream just stepping on the back of their shoe every time they say something that is their opinion, or as soon as they start up their argument, I just say, well, nothing, buddy, be quiet. Wait until they're done arguing, buddy. Wait until they put their part out. Then you can say, well, right? Now go away. I'm not here to argue with people who don't even have an opinion because it saves them from having to be argued with. That's exactly what I would think people are trying to do. Detonate mines. Detonate mines. I think this is just like some type of like, it's not anything too particular, too special. Roll damage. I don't really need it. I guess I can throw it on here. Target is not normal rarity, okay. Notice it on my shield, but whatever. It's not even a weapon. It's currently equipped. I'm not gonna do that. Deal with the bandits. The way forward. What is this? I feel like I'm much stronger in my Templar because I'm more tanky. I could probably beat probably could beat this arena with the animals and stuff. The beasts. I don't know. I think I should wait. Like, I did get whooped pretty quick with my witch. I was relying on my minions. I didn't have skeletons equipped, so I couldn't summon anything without a corpse. Another good point to debate is, you know, because people are already arguing about this, is PO2 gonna basically be a good game? Is it gonna be like the king of the RPGs? I feel like it is. I feel like this is the king of the RPGs. It doesn't mean it's like fun. Like, it's almost like people who play like Monopoly. You can say Last Epoch's version of Monopoly, Diablo's a version of Monopoly, and Pee-wee's a version of Monopoly. Monopoly to me isn't a fun game, but I can understand, like, it's that type of game that isn't just pure fun. There's like some strategy and all that other stuff involved. And I'd probably be like, of course this is the king of the RPGs. This is the most boring ARPG, the most challenging RPG, the most strategic RPG. The real argument should be, which ARPG has the most customization, the most build potential? Something that is, you know, people want to play Monopoly. People want to play a different type of game. Like, I would agree that this is the king of ARPGs, you know what I'm saying? But is it the most fun, you know what I'm saying? Is it the most easy to play? Is it everything? No, it's not everything. But it is probably the hardest and the most challenging, you know, I can agree. You know, I'm a hardcore gamer, I agree. But I have like little kids play this game. No, that'd be ridiculous. I have people who like don't have time to do all this, play it. Maybe they find time to play this, I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't just blindly scream about this game. Maybe PoE 2, it's much newer, but PoE 1, I wouldn't scream about this to everybody. I wouldn't tell everyone about PoE 1. Like PoE 1 versus Diablo 3. Like PoE for sure, but eventually I'd tell everyone to play Diablo. Once they play Diablo, it's fun. You know what I'm saying, there's story. You know, it's easy. You have your abilities. It's you don't have to worry about playing a little bit and starting over. You don't have to start over. There's different, you know, people like different things. And eventually I like different things too. I'm not just gonna square off with Diablo so I can play PoE. That'd be like super toxic and cringy almost, because like why can't you just enjoy Diablo for what it is? And when you want to play PoE for its crazy level, you can play it. And people don't like reading dictionaries for fun. Like PoE is like reading the dictionary for fun. Like I like reading it for fun sometimes. Sometimes I just want to have fun. Sometimes I want to be taken seriously like it's a joke. Like I want to play Last Epoch and think it's a super serious build when it isn't. I just want to have fun. Really like the soul-sucking, desolate, abyssal plane known as PoE. I prefer it over life, right? People just want to play Just Dance. People want to play Just Dance or Guitar Hero or something. I don't even know what they have these days. Rock Band. Like, I get it, buddy. Like, it's not... At the end of the day, your argument doesn't mean anything because only people who are, like, super... not toxic, super hardcore will play PoE anyway. So, like, your argument that it's better is actually false. It can't be better if only certain people play it. Everyone can play Diablo and enjoy it. Everyone can. We can all agree that it's more mainstream, it's more accessible. People that don't play PoE are not a certain type of people. Most people wouldn't play this, I'm guessing. So your argument is kind of self-defeating. Like, well, here's why PoE 2 is good. People will tell you this is why they don't play the game. I'm saying this is why they can't play it, right? So, like, you know, I would agree that PoE is good because of the skill tree, because of the builds, because of its difficulty. That's as far as it goes. You know what I'm saying? Diablo probably looks better. It's smoother. It's easier to get into. You know what I'm saying? There's like actual expansions, I guess you could say. It isn't ran by a bunch of dark, toxic people who aren't that bad, I guess. All people who are arguing are establishing is that arguing is the way to defeat them, and being better than them is the way to defeat them. You know what I'm saying? It's like Kaiba. Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just someone who you eventually just smack in the face, and he's not that powerful anymore. He's not ever as strong as he was. That's what people are basically saying. Like, I'm not that dumb, I get it. People are begging for someone to come and take them down a notch, and now they'll never be better than them. Like, I don't even want to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking anyone down a notch. It's not happening. I'm not going to argue with Kaiba so I can smack him in the face and take his position as top dog. It's not what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to say, look, Kaiba, the path you're going down is going to get you destroyed by somebody who's probably not trying to be better than you. They just are better at Yu-Gi-Oh! Than you, and they'll kill you. They don't even, like, go there. I'm saying. People arguing up PoE are just making it a game people don't want to even get involved with. They'd rather have someone explain to them why they should play it, not argue why it's better than Diablo or scream about the Diablo killer, Diablo killer. People are going to play Diablo a lot more than going to play PoE. Not because Diablo's a better game, it just is more mainstream. It's more fun, you know, in spurts and bursts. Spurts and bursts. Now you can play Diablo day one, like, you know, it's like a week after, and you'll be done with it, and you would have had your fun, and you'll be done. You can do that. PoE, you can't do that. That's not how this game works. You barely scratch the surface, or you barely able to decide anything. I'm saying, like, I want to go to Bush Gardens. Like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my engineering degree and build it and use my backyard, and probably still die. And, you know, whatever, blah blah. I got super try hard, bro. Like, just go to Disneyland and give your honest review. Once you went to Disneyland and give your honest review and you don't like Disneyland, you can make your own amusement park. Just don't be such, like, a nerd about everything. Give things a chance, you know what I'm saying? Give things that everyone has agreed was decent, fun chance before you make your suicidal decision to be a hater and all that. Maybe if you want to be like lawyers and doctors, like, make sure you want to be around all that gory shit before you do it. I'm not doing that. yeah, well, you wouldn't run the whole map trying to clear it out, trying to figure out if there's a quest objective in there. You just would run, you could run down straight path down the middle, you most likely would find it. You know what I'm saying? Diablo 3, Diablo 4. Like, I might not want to have to make a crazy build out of nothing. I might want to know what the abilities are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got time for all that.
The lair of a toy maker with pretensions of godhood.
And people should take their ability to argue and have wisdom over like World of Warcraft and PoE and try to put it together in a more appealing, in a more appealing format, I guess. Like instead of an argument, they can take their argument and run that, you know, let it run its course, and then say, well, here's what we got out of the argument. Here's the pros, here's the cons. Here's a deeper perspective. It's deeper than the argument. You know what I'm saying? Here's why you should play it, or here's why people who are new should stay away. Like, give us some reasons. Don't just argue. Like, you know, take the arguments and make something like coherent out of it that you don't have to argue with. If you know, like people can't even reach these people's levels all the time. Like, why are they arguing about stuff? Right? Like, I would say, look, here's why people who are new should stay away from the PoE. Here's why people who are veterans of video games or hardcore gamers should. Like, here's my reasons. Like, here's my argument, but not in an argument format. You know what I'm saying? Here's my reasons. Right? Something like, you know, like a video or something, I don't know, like a presentation. Like, people would rather not have a presentation and just argue. That's completely toxic and low level. When you have time to argue with people, then you have time to make a video, you know what I'm saying? As much energy and pain that argument requires, destroying potential, destroy somebody, the argument. You can definitely make a video. But when I make a video about this type of stuff, I just realize that, you know, people probably just rather argue, you know what I'm saying? I can make a video about me being the gamer, you know, me having the experience, and that being way easier for people to connect with, and easier for people to understand, and, you know, easier for me to convey than me telling why you should do it, because you might just want to argue. Like, I'll make a video about me. I went to Disneyland, and, you know, I had fun, and you'd be like, well, I would never go to Disneyland. Like, of course, that's why I went, right? And then you'd be like, wow, that's so mean. Like, okay, then after I had some fun, I went and got some food at Disneyland. And, like, it's pretty expensive probably, and it's pretty good, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, I would never do that. That's why I'm doing it. So I can experience it, I want to do it, and then I'm telling you about it, so maybe you can do it. But I have to do it first. Right? Like, okay, I'm gonna stream Dragon Dog's the day one, I'm gonna follow the news, and because the hype surrounded it. It's surrounded by a bunch of hype, and legendary, and hopes, and dreams, and prayers. Like, I would never do that. I would never do that, no. And that's why I'm doing it. So the less stuff you do, the better for me, because now I can do it, right? It'd make more sense if you said why you wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Not just argue, like, here's why I didn't go to Disneyland. And you'd have a video of you going somewhere else. And you would say, here's why I went to Six Flags instead, or here's why I built my own ride and rode it for 8 hours. I'd be like, cool, now I know to go to your amusement park, or go wherever you go because you told me why I should. I could agree in some ways, right? Where's this guy going? Like, someone would say, here's why I built my PoE character like this, and I had to build from the beginning. I would watch it, and I would say, of course, that's perfect set. Here's why I'm gonna do that maybe one day, but, you know, here's my video, and then you make a video, It'd be much more productive, and people would be able to watch it whenever they had time to, whenever they wanted to, I guess. And they would say, you're right, this guy has a business. That's cool. You'd have your people and have my people, and then you'd start you know, a blog or something about kittens or something, and then people would read your blog, you know, blah blah blah. I'm not finna argue with people for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It's better that way. The more people that come and make their perspective known, the more likely someone who's associated with me will be associated with who they should be associated with. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of them being around me because there's no one else, or they don't know anyone like them, someone comes along and says their thing, and then they go with them, and it's better that way. Like, I don't want to have to, like, scrape for people who don't even associate with me. You know what I'm saying? Scrape. I don't want to have to find another band that I don't really want to be on because people should be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people want to go through all these dungeons and these combat situations in PoE. Like, I don't think it's that just fun. Like, it's not like fruit punch fun. Like, it's helping me level up, you know, help me get gear. I like that. I like the gear drops. I like leveling up. I like putting points in my soldier. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for all the craziness, all the stuff that PoE 2 all PoE 1 comes with. Like, I'm not coming out to force people to like something because I liked it. I would tell them I liked it, and I would say, this is why you should like it, because this is why I like it. And they would say, well, I don't like it. I would say, okay, why don't you like it, or why do you like it? You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to be like a little person who can't talk to people. That's, like, I'm not doing that. Before that gets to that point, we're going to start smacking people and punching people. Before we get to the point where we're just arguing and being toxic, we're going to start punching stuff.
It slaughtered everyone! Help me!
Punch, punch. You know, I saw Glacial Hammer. If I ever get into a tough spot with the boss, I'll just Glacial Hammer him, he's dead. This is like building a car. I already said it. I'm pretty sure I already said this. This is like building a car. If you like build cars, you need to be around those type of people. You know what I'm saying? If you like PoE, you need to go build a car or something, right? Because I know people that build cars, and that's just how they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of their cars don't become anything. They just get rid of them. Eventually, they built it. That's really what it's about, in my opinion.
Inquisitor Maligaro.
And showing off what they built, you know what I'm saying? Being proud of what they built. Not someone who just has, like, a flag or an ideology. Someone who builds a car. Go build a car or something. Go build something. Go get some Legos and build them. I'm not finna argue with you if you want to build cars. I know what you'll do. I know you'll just build cars. I've been around people that build cars. I'm not gonna argue with them about why are you building cars. I know exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna build some. They're gonna build some cars. I'm saying it's gonna get super pointless. You know what I'm saying, to go back and forth with someone like that. It's like someone who's like hanging out in the streets, being homeless. Like, why are you homeless? Like, oh well, I like being homeless, or you know, I like doing drugs. No, bro, I'm not gonna argue with them.
was after a creation of Meligaro's called the Baleful Gem. It's nearby, and it's something that heartless bitch must never get her hands on. You have it already. Thank innocence.
Like, go listen to some music in your garage or someone else's garage, or go on YouTube and look at someone in their garage, and you know, build a car, and take part in people building a car.
The Oriathan girl, she is alive. She wants to stay with us, not to go back to her people. I say we take her traitor's heart to the chief. Ask that the warriors in black leave us be.
Herald of Purity, grant a buff which allows you to do more physical damage when you kill an enemy. This buffs the skill with summon Essential of Purity or fresh duration of existence warnings. Damn, Herald of Thunder. Okay, these are all buffs probably. Herald. Some of them are brand. I'll probably go with a buff. I guess I'll go Herald of Thunder. Because it's more lightning strikes, I'm guessing.
Going?
I guess. I can't really use it right now. I have nothing, I can't do anything with this right now. I don't have no slots, no socket slots, none of that.
The road. It runs east and west of here. To the west, it passes the bandit woman's camp.
The spirit is strong in Fell Shrine. You touch the stones, you will feel it. They spoke to me, those stones. Told me to take them.
This is exactly what I didn't want to do streaming. I didn't want to like be talking to people I'd be arguing with. I want it to be a little bit positive, I'm saying. It's not my dream to be
I gave
the
Ebony
king
Legion
of
my
the
faith
goblins,
and my
I'm
loyalty,
saying.
and it offered me nothing but fear
Even
and
if there were
death in
like a
return.
million goblins, I just was
Thank
going to
you for
refrain
freeing
from
me
goblin
both.
behavior.
Piety led us into that wretched
since I'm in
place
goblin
in the
mode,
hopes of
I
finding
might
a
as
device
well
named simply
benefit
the
a little bit.
Spike. Fashioned by
Start
Inquisitor
selling
Malagaro,
shirts.
it was said to enable the injection of Calibric Extantia into living flesh. Calibric Extantia being the corrupt energies locked within virtue gems. We couldn't find that the blackguards will never stop pursuing someone they consider a traitor. I'm a danger to everyone around me and not long for this world if I can't find a place to hide. Based on what the Esmeri have told me of this region, the dread... Go with courage.
I have story for you. A good story, but not finished. I go into Eight-Leg Forest in southwest. Meet the mother of all 8 legs. We fight. Big fight. From sunrise to sunset. I stick my best spear in mother's eye and return to village.
I'll start selling shirts. I'll probably try to put like my Bad Jelly logo on it or something and sell it for like $80 or something crazy. You know, I'm currently wearing a shirt that's, you know, in my opinion, a higher quality t-shirt and stuff. It's thicker. You know, it's something I would sell and believe in its quality. I might get some quality t-shirts like this and put some Bad Jelly logos on them and sell them. That's me in my goblin mode. I was going to do that anyway, but the goblins forced my hand to do it right now. So we're in goblin mode right now. Goblin mode, excuse me. Goblin mode. I need to drop this stuff off my inventory. Another thing about this game that I don't really like is inventory management. I don't like having to take all my currencies and like, you know, all that type of stuff, and having to click them. They're so small, you know, having to do all this. This kind of takes away from me wanting to play the game. Like, I don't want to even run back out of the camp. I just want to sit around with my inventory empty for a little bit. Static Strike, I already have Static Strike. Molten Support. I don't need really room for that. Yeah, I want to use a lot of this stuff. Spell Cascade. Already has Spell Cascade equipped. Summon Holy Relic. Arcane Surge. It's almost like having a dog. A dog's someone that will listen to you. But the way a dog would show affection isn't really good for a person to receive. Like, a person isn't sustained by the dog's love. Like, I don't want that. I don't want to be in here with a bunch of dogs and stuff. Like, you can tell a dog right from wrong, but at the end of the day, he doesn't live by that code. He doesn't really care at the end of the day. I'm sure if someone mounts a dog, they would go and pack themselves before they had code or honor. Like, a dog's a dog. Like, it's an animal. It has its own world and its own beliefs, I'm sure. I'm saying its own ideas. A person just can't install its personality and its hopes and dreams to a dog. A dog has its own dog world and dog life and dog dreams. I'm not going to be around with dogs, I'm saying. At some point, it's vampiric, you know what I'm saying? It's like vampire behavior. Knowing that you're just a dog who can't be a person and just still makes people think that you could. It's like whoever's doing it like a person. Like a vampire or something. Vampiro. I haven't equipped that buff yet.
It has been a little
I can't
over a
really
week
equip it.
since the Black Storm.
I have no way to equip it.
My husband has not returned, and sickness now sweeps through our village.
I guess I could try to change the color to
Many
blue
have
this
died,
time,
and
but
those who have lived have
already kind of ran away from the camp.
changed. These were folk we once called neighbor and friend. Now they limp and stagger through the night.
That's gonna be really cool having a buff
deformities as grotesque
and having more
as
lightning
the
strikes.
madness in their eyes.
That's gonna be insane. That's for 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a long time to just have lightning strike constantly. Let me see if I can add a gem slot or on these boots. Take this. Some of that, some of this. I got a blue one first try. Go with thunder. Put that on E. Wait, how does the buff work? It doesn't show up in my abilities. Grants a buff which allows lightning damage. Is that just a permanent buff? It takes mana, so that's why it's possible, because it takes mana. Actually, no, it should be like a castable thing, right? I don't see it. I have to leave first. Oh, I don't have the boots equipped. That's why. Okay, I was kind of confused. Is it a permanent buff? It looks like it takes my mana permanently. Hopefully that's the case, because having a permanent buff, like, that would be great. Yep, it's a permanent buff. Let's go. I like buffs like this, permanent buffs. I haven't constantly cast them. Oh yeah, that's insane. This is gonna be insane. This is crazy. OB. I might drop the Holy Relic. I don't really need that anymore. I'm not gonna build anything. It's cool for now though. A little my mana being taken is fine because I don't really use that much mana. Insanity, bro. This is the type of insane this game can implement. I'm hoping that PoE 2 kind of takes this and makes it more aesthetically pleasing, and they balance the game around this type of build. You see how I'm just kind of going crazy with the lightning, and that's how this game usually goes, I guess. I'm really hoping that they make the game, they increase difficulty, you know, they make it where there's a ceiling for this, there's a curve for this type of build. Like the game has adapted, and the developers have adapted these levels of build. That's just nuts, you know what I'm saying. I'm sure they have. I've seen gameplay. The game looks much more coherent and it looks more intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like it can handle this type of build and ideology. People who would implement these type of builds, like I'm sure that they've prepared for this. It's gonna be great. Taking the ideology people have in PoE 2 is like almost this super gamer mode type of build and type of character, and having them be able to take that and have an outlet for it. Usually those type of people just exist above the game, and it really isn't much of a challenge for them. Hopefully they can take their builds and their strategies and have a challenge for them, something waiting for them. I'm sure that it will, especially the first time playing it, people having to create builds and sharing them online. It's always cool, you know what I'm saying? hopefully it's enough of the challenge to those type of people so that it can like have an outlet. You know what I'm saying? Someone like me who's more rounded and doesn't go super min-maxy, like personality-wise, like, you know, I would use a build, but I also know that it kind of ruins it, the game anyway. You know, I'll probably have even more fun because I'm not looking to destroy the game. I'm trying to look and enjoy it and experience it. Unless resistances, that could be good. I'll use it. Like a risk not having a bunch of health potions on my bar though. I'm thinking about another health potion up there instead. So yeah, I'm enjoying PoE on, you know, the mental stimulation. I wish I could kind of put that more in my videos. The people who are watching it kind of got a bite of that first. So I start talking and droning and droning and droning. They know where to categorize it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I can't wait for PoE 2. I can't wait for the Dragon's Dogma. I'm saying. I mean, these are old school games, Dragon's Dogma. And people got old school results out of them in old school styles. And hopefully when they come out, they can still retain some old school aspects enough to keep people who are, you know, people old school are pretty devastating in video games. I kind of want them to be, I want there to be a game that appeases them. Kind of like Elden Ring or something. Or like more like Dark Souls. Dark Souls had a really clunky controls, so like it kind of appealed more to the old school parts. Not that they like clunky, but that clunky's old school. I like to see that type of stuff. It's almost like taking a super genius and making like an energy conduit or something, type of energy machine that you can use to like power a city or something. That type of stuff. Usually like the Taylor Swift video game. I joke. He's not Taylor Swift. I've been streaming for like an hour and a half. I gotta go take out these tuna steaks. I'll be right back. I use the bathroom and all that stuff. Usually I would stream an hour and I'd be done. But now I'm getting to the point where I have like my agenda. Like I start streaming, this is what I want to do. Like in a game I want to get a certain distance. I want to play a certain amount. And then as far as talking and saying stuff, I want to say certain things. Or at least touch on certain points. And then like, usually I wouldn't have the talking points. But now I'm starting to develop them. So I'll probably start like writing a lot of this. And then I'll go to like say it and I'll say something else, or I'll say it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't say streaming's a good outlet for talking about like you went to the mall with your girlfriends and all that. But if you want to talk about like a game or some news, or you want to talk about like something that isn't as social, like a social circle, like a social aspect, there's not really a social aspect to it, then it's really a good place to go and say a lot of stuff. Like if you want to tell people that like people like vote Democrat and conservative, but people like nowadays are thinking that the Democrats aren't doing enough for this or that. It really was, in my opinion, about being a Democrat. Democrats being viewed as good people, and not so much about the government doing anything. You know, you can vote conservative, but I think people should still try to keep a more democratic personality, because being a conservative is probably being a bad person. I just think in real life, if you have political beliefs that, you know, you want to be like more conservative, that's fine. That's like a political thing. But like your day to day, if you're like this every day, you're kind of a bad person, right? And people like who are Democrats don't really have the image of taking up the pitchforks and torches, right? Like reasoning, yeah, well they actually have brought the pitchforks. Well, that's one against Democrats, that they actually do have pitchforks and torches. And then you would say, well, they're usually good, and then you say, well, they actually did this too. Eventually, they'd be like, well, at the end of the day, everything you're saying they did, the conservatives did it too, and there's no redeeming quality about them being good or anything. Like they're not that good. Like being smart is one thing, but being smart to people and using it as a personality is super mean and evil. So like that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying being a Democrat is superior politically. It probably is inferior to being conservative, but at the end of the day, it's more of like a positive type of person. I'm saying it's a better person than it is a political. So I'm just hoping people don't kind of ruin that part, or even take it for granted, think it's easy. If you go to like Africa and Europe, people are very much more close to being conservative just their whole life. Like they're really not that approachable, you know. And they've been like that for so long, you think they would be protected at some point, you know what I'm saying? I just hope people don't think that because, you know, times are hard or there's political things that they should be a bad person. You know, it's almost an investment. Being a Democrat's an investment, not a political investment, but just, you know, if you have enough Democrat people that you think are Democratic, that could be an investment for the future. So like in the future, they're not the worst people ever, you know what I'm saying? Not to use it either as a crowbar to pry open goodness, you know what I'm saying? Like a, you know, that's just what you could talk about on a stream or something. Not something that's like, I am political, but like this is like here's like it's more polarizing in a way. It's very polarizing. It's very a lot of sides to it. When you can like, as far as what I can tell, like you can pick a lot of sides, or you can not really, you can establish sides more so than pick them. Like I would say being conservative is good if you're going to be old and you want to have a house, you want to have lineage, you want to have a family and pass down things to your kids. But if you plan on being like that just because, that's completely different. Like when I think of conservative, I think of someone who wants to be like a dad who passes down, you know, like certain ways to their children and people around them. Not someone who just walks around other people. If you're around other people like that, you need to stop. you need to be around people like their granddad. You're not their granddad. I'm saying if you're not related to them. Someone should stop you. But a Democrat can be around anybody, and that's what I mean. Someone who's just like a better kind of personality. Not Democrat, but politics, just democratic people, you know what I'm saying?
Heard you toppled a big tree. Handy work, that. And if you can chop down an oak, you can
I
pull
can't
out
think of a group of people that...
The weed's got a name. Alira. And I'm sick of seeing her in my garden. What's in it for you? The amulets around Oak and Alira's necks. The ones like mine here. There's power in them beyond reckoning.
I'm not talking about like, you know, you have people that smoke weed, they have their circle, but they don't really have any... It doesn't really change the world. Or it does, but it's like you don't change the world, so what weed does. Like weed has that power. Or like people that are hippies, or people that are like gamers. People that aren't considered like bad conservative type of people or democratic, but I think sometimes people should make that leap. They should take what they can get out of gaming or the gamer, you know, Comic-Con type people and the weed smokers, and just make a conservative thing, a conservative investment, not a conservative, a democratic investment.
Wasted on spite and avarice.
And you gotta work with what you got. You know, I don't have rainbows, unicorns. I have like Democrats and people that smoke weed. Like I know that smoking weed people are probably going to be way more terrible because they're gonna have to stop smoking weed. So they're not gonna have anything to be good about. You know, people that are playing video games, they're gonna stop playing video games. They're gonna be pretty terrible. So yeah, definitely. I feel like, you know, before the time comes, people to stop smoking weed and stop playing video games, you should try to get them to be more democratic of a person. And then politically, they can do whatever they want. Politically, you do what's best for your country. You don't do what's best for the goodness of the rabbits, because the rabbits are just good. They're just good anyway. Like I really wish I had made people be more democratic, because I don't want to do it for them. I'd rather have them contribute to the democratic people group, the Democratic Republic of the Congo of Africa or something. I don't know. That's like, you know, something I could talk about. Like, I would definitely say to take a lot more of the rigid political views and like how you'd want to be like like a role model or a figure for people who aren't in a good standing or a good position. Like you're not like it's like a little kid who doesn't do anything but play games anyway. But like if you're gonna be like a person, like be like a Democrat. Like I think the worse things get, people should be more democratic because if you ever make it out, you don't want to be a bad person who like clung to the badness and became very cold because it was so bad. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm gonna go write that down somewhere, the strategy for that. Like if you were to have Democrats and Republicans, what would you want to take from which? You know, like what do you take from which one and when do you use it? Especially like during a test. Like if you were someone's granddad and you had grandkids and they had to listen to you and you had to be like kind of a little more stern because maybe your kids weren't doing that much as far as handing things down or they weren't that impactful on